The Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Breaking news now at 10 from Washington, D.C., where President Donald Trump has signed a new law in just the last 2 hours that requires the release of federal files tied to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The move comes after weeks of political pressure, including from members of the president's own party. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Here are 3 things you need to know tonight. The Justice Department now has 30 days to release Epstein-related documents, including communications and details about the 2019 investigation into his death. The law blocks the DOJ from withholding information over embarrassment or political sensitivity. Victims' identities can still be protected, though. Both the House and Senate passed the measure with overwhelming bipartisan support earlier this week.
And there's already fallout. In light of the news, former Harvard president and Treasury Secretary Larry Summers is now on leave from the university. Newly released emails revealed he maintained a friendly relationship with Epstein years after Epstein's sex crime conviction. Harvard confirmed it has reopened its review, and Summers has stepped aside from teaching and from directing a major research center there on campus. You can stay up to date on this breaking news and others with our free Fox 61 News app. Use the QR code on your screen to download it or go to fox61.com. And developing here at 10, students and families in New Haven are at immediate financial risk. New Haven public school leaders say a major phishing attack targeted thousands of students.
Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot has reaction from parents and the city's mayor.
4 students' emails were compromised in New Haven, which then led to 10,000 emails being sent to other students and their families. The district says the scammers intended to collect students' personal banking information. New Haven Mayor Justin Elliker says after the 4 students opened their emails and responded, it triggered other emails to go out. The district says more than half the student body received at least one of the scam emails, and about 10% of the emails were opened by students. Elliker says while district staff are trained on what to look out for when it comes to scams, the same cannot be said for students. One parent we spoke to says this is concerning.
We'll get fake emails sent to us by the software that we use that try to help us practice. So we flag it as a phishing alert, and then it'll let us know, hey, good job, you caught this. And same on the Board of Education side. With students, I don't think there's as robust a training, and so I think that's something that we should be working more on. And after this, it's certainly something that we'll be having conversations about.
It's alarming, it's concern, and since it's a public awareness, then we need to bring more awareness to these kids. Have meetings at these schools, and in the auditorium, let these kids be aware of exactly what's going on and enlighten the parents more and educate. We need more education on this stuff.
The district is now telling students to delete any suspicious emails. If a student did fill out a form from a scam email, they need to call the school or the IT department immediately. Mayor Justin Elliker urges families to check with their banks to make sure everything is up to date. In New Haven, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
Chilly out there tonight. Temperatures will be tumbling back into the 20s, but overall we're looking at a dry and seasonable stretch of weather, which means temperatures are generally going to be right around average for this time of year. We will see increasing clouds as we head through the overnight hours, and I think we'll start the day off with a fair amount of clouds as well. We're already seeing some 20s coming in, so again, it is a chilly night ahead, but it's November. It's par for the course. Mid-20s for Windham, 27 for an overnight low temperature for Meriden, and right around the 30-degree mark for the New Haven area. Heading through the day tomorrow, we'll begin the day with a lot of clouds and temperatures in the 20s. By lunchtime, near 40, and high temperatures will be in the middle to upper 40s as we head through the afternoon. Also notice while we start the day off with a lot of clouds, heading through the afternoon, we will see increasing amounts of sunshine. More clouds, but warmer temperatures for Friday. What does that mean for the weekend before we head into Thanksgiving week? We'll talk about it coming up.
Well, 1 in 6 people with dementia go missing, according to the Alzheimer's Association, and one family in Preston is living that nightmare right now.
Fox 61's Tim Latow has the exclusive interview with a woman desperate to find her father-in-law.
Family members of a missing Preston man are hoping dozens of volunteers show up here on Saturday to help look for him. The family tells me it's been 4 weeks since he got out of his house through a basement window.
To please check their sheds, their garages, their boats, their RVs, any outbuildings. We need them to check those buildings.
It's the family's plea to New London County to look for their patriarch, 72-year-old Henry Hood, who was diagnosed with dementia 2 years ago. His daughter-in-law, Kimberly Boyle, says he was under supervision by family at home, where all doors were locked and secure, but he got out through a basement window. She says state police have ended their search, so now Boyle will lead volunteers this Saturday to search a 2-mile radius around Hood's house.
There's been no positive sightings of him, and that just makes us feel like he is in those woods. He never made it out of the woods here.
Kristen Casado of the Alzheimer's Association Connecticut chapter says the majority of people diagnosed with dementia will wander at some point.
6 out of 10 people with dementia will wander, so it is absolutely a real concern. Something like the Purple Alert is another tool that can help hopefully bring families back together in a quicker manner.
The Purple Alert is a new notification system launched in May by Connecticut law enforcement to help notify the public of a missing adult with a cognitive condition more quickly. And in 2024, state leaders worked with the Alzheimer's Association of Connecticut to create Bring Me Back Home, an online registry.
Bring Me Back Home is a safe state registry where you put the information in about your person who has dementia, a recent picture, where they used to live, where they used to work, perhaps their native language.
The past 4 weeks have been draining for the Hood family, but it hasn't snuffed out their last bit of hope to find the man they all call Pops.
Are you guys holding out hope, though, that he could be alive out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Every day that goes by, it gets grimmer and grimmer, though.
And if you want to get involved in the search, we'll have more information on our website at fox61.com. In Preston, Tim Lateau, Fox 61.
A Bloomfield man was hit and killed early this morning. Police say a dump truck struck him on Woodland Avenue. The crash happened around 6:20 this morning. It shut down most of the road. Police say the man suffered severe head trauma and was unresponsive when they got there. He later died. Investigators say the dump truck driver told them he didn't realize that he'd hit someone, but he is cooperating with police. The crash left driver stuck or unable to get home while police investigated. Neighbors tell us the area is usually quiet, which made the scene even more unsettling.
When I went around Hillside Ave, it was worse. So we went around and we had to be there for like a long time. I was in a car accident before and it was so sad for me to see that there, and the fact that we didn't even see like a person, like the person who did it, we don't even know if he was, trying to be responsible.
Right now, police haven't released the victim's name or what led to the crash. We'll update you as soon as we learn more.
24 hours ago, we were bringing you live coverage as dozens of firefighters worked to put out a fire at Foxwoods Resort Casino. And tonight, we've learned the restaurant where the fire started is temporarily closed. The fire happened at David Burke Prime Steakhouse before 8:30 last night. 3 firefighters were taken to the hospital but have since been released. The casino is open, but the fire is under investigation. Well, Jets corner Chris Boyd is breathing on his own after he was shot in New York City early Sunday morning. He posted a picture from his hospital bed and said he feels grateful and is getting stronger. Coach Aaron Glenn says he talked with Boyd and he sounded upbeat. Boyd is still in critical condition and doctors have not said when he'll be able to go home. Police are still looking for the shooter. They say Boyd was hit in the abdomen near Times Square and it's still not clear if he was the actual target.
Like I used to spend for pie crust, you could get 2 pie crusts for like $1 something. Now it's $4 and something for 2 pie crusts, almost $5.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is less than a week away, and that means the hunt is on for the best meal at the best price.
Fox 61 Stefan Reels is here with your Thanksgiving bill forecast. That is, I had to double check on that. The forecast. This isn't Rachel. This is Stefan, because we got to talk about the prices of Thanksgiving. Grocery prices certainly seem higher this year than they were last year.
Yeah, and Brent, Sarah, I'm going to need you to look at me, lock in real quick, because I'm about to feed you a lot of information. Some of it going to sound contradictory, but this is all real. So let's get into it. You have some outlets like CNN who have reported that grocery prices have gone up. And in fact, in September, those prices were up 2.7% higher than they were at the same time last year. But the cost of a Thanksgiving Day meal, get this, actually down. In its annual Thanksgiving dinner survey, the American Farm Bureau Federation says the average cost for a 10-serving holiday meal will be $55.18, and that's just around $5.52 a person. Get this, it is down about 5% from last year, and this makes it the third year in a row that prices have gone down after Thanksgiving meal costs peaked in price in 2022 at more than $64. Now, the big culprit for this decrease has been linked to turkey, known as the make or break for a lot of budgets this time of year. Grocery stores are now trying to capitalize on this, and now turkey prices have dropped 16% from what they were last year, now around $1.34. But half of your holiday staples have dropped in price too, like rolls and stuffing, but fresh vegetables, those have gone up in price. Sweet potatoes alone, those are up 37%, and natural disasters are said to be the blame of that. But veggies are usually a low cost anyway, so you shouldn't notice too much of a difference. But when you look at the bigger picture right here, I want you to look in this top corner at the Northeast region. That's where we are in New England. It's typically going to mean that we are going to face higher Thanksgiving prices than the rest of the country. That's in between $60 to $61 as opposed to the $55. So, like you heard earlier, people are trying to plan to save some cash.
Just trying to really think about the menu first, and then from there we'll see what's on sale.
It can be very expensive to go shopping for things. I'm just trying to make sure I don't forget anything, honestly.
And Brent, Sarah, this will just seemingly beg the question, where can you get the best bang for your buck in Connecticut? That's going to be the question I answer for our viewers during our 10 p.m. show tomorrow. And what is the real cost of Thanksgiving? So, you know, a lot of people are trying to be very proactive right now. So we're going through all of the big chains that are here in Connecticut. So we got Aldi on this, Stu Leonard's, we have Stop and Shop ready to go. So we're going to be breaking all of that down tomorrow.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're talking about Thanksgiving meal here. So it's, you know, people have been paying higher grocery prices all year long, but for their immediate family, and sometimes they have big families coming in. It's a big expense. You got to save money where you can.
I heard there's a trend that people are charging people to come to Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
If you come, yeah, you might be seeing that.
Well, the big thing, too, is a lot of people are now opting to, instead of one family making all of the meals, everyone brings their own, kind of like a potluck, really going back to the roots of Thanksgiving. Where
that's the way people used to do it anyway.
Yeah, back in, like, what, the 1700s? I think someone needs to fact check me on that.
Where you bring in everything. And yeah, now the turkey, if you can just do the turkey, that's enough, because it's expensive. All right, thank you, Stefan.